welcome back to the channel. I'm Alex. So it's time to do some basic maintenance stuff for my MechMaxx B200 inch wood chipper. So that's what this video is going to be about. I'm going to be showing you guys how to do an oil change, swap out the oil filter, check on the air filter, and also put some grease in the grease fittings. It's definitely important to stay on top of the basic maintenance stuff, so it helps ensure a nice long life of the wood chipper, especially if you're like me and put your wood chipper through the works, man. I am definitely not easy on this baby, so I want to make it as likely as possible for it to keep on going and going, because it's not a cheap machine, so I definitely want to get my money's worth. So hope you guys enjoy this video. Please make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, guys, luckily for this wood chipper here, the oil change process is actually pretty straightforward, so that's pretty cool. I'm definitely not super mechanically inclined, so if I'm able to do it, you guys should be able to do it too. Yeah, I like to stay on top of the oil changes, change the oil probably every 15-20 hours of use, and for me that's about every 2 months or so, so I definitely have already changed this oil a few times. But the first thing you're going to want to do when you're changing the oil on really any machine, really, you want to get the oil to be nice and warm or hot. It's definitely a lot easier and faster when the oil's hot. It'll drain faster and more effectively. You get a better chance of getting all the old oil out before you put the new oil in. So that's definitely kind of important. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Just going to turn the engine on, let it run for 5-10 minutes, get it nice and hot, and then I'll actually start the oil change process. Alrighty, let's do this, guys. Got the fuel line on, throttle's kind of low, choke's on. Time to turn this baby on. Let's go. I'll see you in 10 minutes. So now that the engine's nice and hot, it's time to actually start draining this oil. So let's go. Oh yeah. Yep, so right now, before I even start opening up the drain port and draining the oil, I'm jacking up the wood chipper so it's angled downhill towards the drain port that I'll be using. This wood chipper actually has 2 drain ports, but you only need to open up one to actually drain it up. So whichever side that you prefer, use that one. Me personally, when you're on the side of the engine that has the on-off switch, the ignition switch, I like using the port that's on the right side, but also has an identical one on the left side. So whichever port that you prefer using, use that one. But me, I like using the oil drain port for a couple reasons. One, because I got my jack here, so I'm able to jack up the wood chipper, angle it downhill towards the port that I'll be opening up, so it'll be more effective at draining out all the oil. I actually bought this jack off Amazon. This jack does not come standard with this wood chipper, and I like it for multiple reasons. One being it helps draining the oil out when you do the oil changes, and two, when you're out in the field and you have your wood chipper attached to whatever you're towing it with, it's not a good idea to have these 2 front tires on the ground rolling with it, because if you go over a bump or something, it can actually make the wood chipper bounce off your tow ball hitch, and if you don't have these chains attached, it could go on a free ride and go rolling into something you don't want to go roll into. Don't ask me how I know that, but I know it. So yeah, for those 2 reasons, it makes it nicer because you can jack up the trailer, jack up the wood chipper for doing an oil change, and when you're out in the field, you can jack it up, flip down your tires, and then leave your wood chipper and use whatever vehicle you're towing it with to go do something else if you want to. If you didn't have this jack out there, then you'd be trying to lift an over 800-pound machine and then flip the tires down that way, and to me, unless you're super strong, that's quite difficult, you know, or impossible. So you can jack it up, flip the tires back down, and then leave the wood chipper somewhere out in the field when you want to. So that's cool for those 2 reasons for me. All right, now let's change this oil. Yeah, like I mentioned, this machine has 2 oil drain ports. This is one. This is on when you're on the ignition side, on the right side. There's an identical one on the left side. I'll show you that now. Identical. There's your oil filter. But you might like using the other side, but I like using this side because my jack's on that side, so I can angle the machine towards myself, have the downhill going this way. And this side has the battery, so you can actually use it as a little table. So to me, that's kind of nicer. But anyways, it's time to drain the oil. I'm using an 11/16 socket wrench. Undo this. Oh yeah. Now it's loosened. Yeah, so it's definitely a smart idea to have your oil pan ready. A funnel makes it a little bit nicer because where the drain port is right above like a flat part of the frame. So when you're draining the oil, it'll hit the flat part, kind of go everywhere. So a funnel will help you direct it to where you actually want the oil to go. I'm thinking about ordering offline a little drain hose to attach to this drain plug. So if I do that, it'll make not my next oil change easier, but the one after that should be a lot easier if I get that drain hose. Anyways, let's do this. Nice and easy. Yep, even with funnel, this is the first time I'm actually using this funnel method, it's still kind of going everywhere, and that's not too good. And since you warmed up the engine, this oil is definitely hot, so be careful, guys. I had higher hopes for the funnel method, but it's still allowed oil to get everywhere, so you're going to need to wipe this off before actually getting into it. Yeah, oil will definitely get on the drum of the wood chipper. So what I'm going to do after I finish putting oil back into it and have it all nice and level and have the front tires flip back down, that way I'm able to open up the chute door side. So then I'm going to take my leaf blower and try and blow the oil out. So hopefully that'll help that out some. But I don't think that's the end of the world. It might actually be good in a sense because oil will help it not rust. So that's cool, and it'll keep it lubed up a little bit. So might be a win-win thing, but you definitely don't want too much oil down in there. So get as much as you can off. I'm definitely not a professional mechanic. It's just what I kind of feel like might be a semi-good thing, or just trying to make myself feel a little bit better about getting oil in there. But anyways, I'm done wiping off the oil in here as best I can. I've already gone through like 4 of these freaking rags, and there's still more to be wiping off. So hopefully the leaf blower method will work. But anyways, I'm going to move on to the next step of the oil change process. I want to change the oil filter, so let's do that. Alright, so the oil filter is on the left side if you're on the ignition side. Here's the oil filter right there, above the other oil drain port that I didn't use. So now, since my hands are a little bit oily and slippery, I'm going to be using a rag to hopefully undo this baby. I put this on last time, so it should just be basically hand tight, which it is. It's already starting to turn, which is cool. And it's good to have a rag ready because you're definitely going to be leaking some oil when you do this. As I am right now. Ta-da! Yeah, so when you go to put the new oil filter back on, you only need to do it hand tight. If you do it more than hand tight, you're really only going to make yourself mad in the future, or really tick off the next guy to do it, because they only need to be on their hand tight. Any more is just way overkill and just makes it way harder than it needs to be. So only hand tight, guys. Now I'll be using SAE 10W30. This is just a Walmart brand oil, so to me it's not super important of the brand of oil you do it. I know probably a lot of people will disagree with me. To me, oil is just oil. But you definitely want to pre-moisten the new oil filter before putting it on. So put a little bit of oil all around it on there. So a little bit will do ya. So now we're going to put the new oil filter on. Wipe off all the remaining old oil as best you can. Doesn't need to be any more than hand tight on there. Cool. That should be good. Wipe off all the nasty oil that you spilled. So, just gonna close up the drain plug. And you definitely want the drain plug to be more than hand tight. Not the oil filter, but the drain plug. Basically be as tight on there as you can, but you don't want to overdo it. So as soon as you feel it be nice and snug, then it should be good. Alright, so now it's time to actually put oil in this baby. Alright. Yeah, so it's a good idea for when you're draining the oil for the machine to be angled downhill towards your oil drain port. But when you actually go to fill the drain oil, which I'm doing right now, you want to have it be on as level ground as possible, so when you put oil into it, you can get an accurate reading, so you know that you put enough oil in it. So if you don't have level ground, like I don't really around here on my property, you need to make your own level ground, which again is another thing that makes my trailer jack that I got off Amazon come in handy. So I'll be using my level here to find out when this is on level. So I'm going to be lowering now the jack until that bubble's in the middle, so that'll tell me that I'm on level ground. So there you go. All right, it's pretty level there. So now we can actually start putting oil in this baby. And the last couple times I've put oil in it, it takes about 2.5 quarts of oil in it. So it should take that again. So alrighty, let's do it. Where you put the oil in is underneath the gas tank, in between the frame right here, so it's kind of an awkward spot, especially if you got kind of bigger hands like I do. Come on. There we go. Alright, so you definitely need a funnel to be able to put new oil in there. And oil is a little bit cheaper if you buy it by the 5 quarts, but I like putting it into a quart size. That way I know how much I'm putting in it and not just guessing it, because this needs 2.5 quarts of SAE 10W30. So I use an old SAE 10W30 bottle, fill up and do a quart at a time, because like I said, it only needs 2.5 quarts. So for me personally, it's just a little bit easier to do it that way. So I'll use my 5 quarts, use a funnel, fill up a quart, do that again, and then fill up another half one, and then we should be good after that. All right, that's 2, so should only need a half quart, but before I do that, I'm gonna check the dipstick to make sure that we still need more oil, which we probably will. Yep, still not even on the line yet. Another half quart should do it. Probably can't see it there, but it's full. So now just take your funnel out. Put the oil fill plug back in. And boom, the oil change has now been completed. But there's definitely, when you're doing oil change, 2 things that you want to also do to help ensure a nice long life of your machine here. So let's do those. Alright, so the first one's actually pretty easy. You're just checking on how your air filter here is doing. The air filter is on the ignition side, right above it, this big tube here. It's got 2 latches. Just undo them, take off the top, pull out your air filter, and check on the status of it. It's not looking too bad. It's got an inner filter there. Both are looking pretty good. And if they are looking kind of dirty, you can either replace them or just take some air and spray it out. But to me, they're looking just fine, so I'm just gonna put them back in, latch it back up, and move on to the next thing, which is putting grease in the 2 fittings. One is here, and one is on the other side. I gotta undo the band cover to get to it, so I'll do that now. That's good to go. And boom, here is the other grease fitting right there. So we got 2 spots on here to put grease on a regular basis, so it's not too bad. So let's go do that. Yeah, so I just have a normal grease gun, but what's not normal about this is the actual grease attachment part on it. This is called a lock and lube grease fitting right here. Bought it off Amazon, of course. And again, I'll put a link of where I got this on the description of this video. So if you want this, which is a really good idea if you don't have one, because it makes putting grease in your machine so much nicer. I was using the normal grease attachment thing that this gun came with, and it took me like a half hour just to be able to put grease into the 2 fittings. So if you got a machine with more than 2 fittings, it's going to take you a long time. But with this lock and lube attachment here, all you gotta do is push down on this and then just put it onto your grease fitting right there, and then boom, pump, good to go for the next one. Let's go. Find the grease fitting there, put it on, boom, boom, and it's that simple. It makes putting grease into your machine so much easier, so much faster. Highly recommend getting this. This attachment's not cheap. It's like, I want to say $35 off Amazon, but worth every freaking penny because it makes putting grease in it so lightning fast. It's awesome. Alrighty guys, so that's all the basic maintenance stuff you need to do for your wood chipper here. The only thing that I didn't do is I didn't check the spark plugs, but since when I go to start it every time, it starts up just fine. I'm not noticing any lag. I don't feel a need to check the spark plugs because they're probably going to be just fine. So no need to take that extra step. But if you guys are noticing a lag when you go to start it, definitely check out the spark plugs first. Check out your gas. Make sure you don't have any water in the gas, because water in your gas is not good for your engine whatsoever. That can actually destroy your engine. So I keep my gas cans in a nice dry place, so that shouldn't be a worry for me at least. But yeah guys, did the oil change, changed the oil filter, checked out the air filter, put grease in it. So this baby is good to go for the next time I go wood chipping, which is probably going to be my next video, so please stay tuned for that. But yeah guys, the only thing I got left to do today is, like I mentioned, I'm going to take out my leaf blower, blow out hopefully the rest of the excess oil that's still in the drum area. But if not, I don't think it's the end of the world to have a little bit of oil down there. So anyways, that's all I'm doing for today guys. Hope you got something out of this video. If you did, hit that like button and please subscribe to the channel. Thanks everybody, and I'll see you guys next time.